and 18 grams of protein. Just kidding. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video I'm going to be sharing a Meijer grocery haul, and it's a pretty big one with a lot of really good finds. I'm excited to share this with you guys because I actually haven't been to Meijer in a really long time. I know some people don't have Meijers near them. It's more like, I think Michigan, Illinois area, Wisconsin maybe. I'm not totally positive, but I think it's kind of similar to maybe like a Kroger or something like that. Either way though, I'm going to be sharing all the different foods that help me to stay on track with my weight loss journey, and I'll be giving the WeightWatchers points and then sharing the nutrition labels on the screen as well. I track most consistently with WeightWatchers if I'm going to be tracking my days of eating. However, I do pay attention to things like protein, added sugar, fat, calories, all of those things that are included on nutrition labels. So that's why I also like to include that information as well. I try to find a lot of higher fiber, higher protein options, and I do try to watch for a lot of extra added sugar and things like that. But I'm gonna be walking through everything that I got today and sharing how I incorporated to stay on track with my weight loss. If you guys enjoy this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get started. I will go ahead and start off with the produce, including these Simply potatoes. Today I got diced potatoes, so usually I get the shredded hash browns, but either way, both options are 0 points on WeightWatchers because it's just the potato in there. There's no added oil or anything. So I like to use these to make breakfast skillets, or sometimes I'll even just pop them in the air fryer with some like seasoning, cumin, garlic, salt, onion powder, and then I top them with like nacho ingredients, so maybe some taco meat, sour cream, lettuce, tomatoes, salsa, stuff like that. I like to make like loaded Fiesta potatoes from Taco Bell, and these potatoes are perfect for that because they're just already diced and ready, and usually they air fry really nicely. But 0 points on WeightWatchers, and I usually just start with the regular serving, which is 3/4 cup for 90 calories. I also got some other potatoes. I liked how tiny these were. So these are the little mini reds from Little Potato Company. And these are also 0 points on WeightWatchers. I usually like to just toss these in some olive oil and some seasonings and then roast them in the oven. Or sometimes I will cook them on the stove and kind of get them a little bit crispy. I'll like cut them in half and then use them as a base for like a breakfast bowl or something. But a nice 0 point option that helps to make things a little bit more filling. I feel like whenever I add potatoes to meals, it does definitely like bulk it up and make it a little bit more filling. It says the serving is 12 to 13 potatoes, and like I said, they're nice and mini. So I thought that would be a good either breakfast or dinner. This was on sale, so I grabbed it because it looked good. I'll probably just eat it quickly within the next day or two, but it is cored pineapple. So this is 0 points on WeightWatchers. Actually, when I saw it, my first thought was burgers. I wanted to do like a barbecue Hawaiian type burger, but I don't have any made. I did get some meat that maybe I could turn into burgers, so maybe I'll do that. But either way, I'll have it as a snack with like a snack plate or after my breakfast or lunch, or I'll use it on burgers. I was happy to see they had the carrot chips I've really been enjoying. So I go through phases, but lately these have really been my favorite. I feel like now like the shredded ones and even like the sticks just aren't the same compared to these chips. I usually chop them into smaller pieces when I add them to bowls, or I'll add them to like a snack plate or something, but they're 0 points on WeightWatchers and just another ingredient I like to incorporate. Sometimes I'll also chop them up and add them to fried rice or even like a stir fry mix. Okay, some of the staple produce we get every time. We got bananas for protein shakes, bowls of cereal, again 0 points, and just something that we have almost daily. I've also been using them as a base for my ice cream bowls when I make creamies. I love making like a little banana split. I like the combo. So if I don't include a banana in the actual creamy that I froze, then I'll cut one up and use it as the base. And then I got some blueberries for my yogurt bowls, and sometimes I like to add them to like pancakes, waffles, things like that. But it was a sale for 2 for $5, so I just got 2 of them. The apples were a little rough today. There weren't many good ones. I was able to get a few, so I got 4 today, and I just have an apple every single day after dinner. I looked at the Cosmic Crisp too, and they didn't look great. The Honey Crisp actually looked a little better, so that's what I got this time. I feel like they've actually been tasting better than the Cosmic Crisp lately within the past like month or so. But 0 points. I have one to satisfy my sweet tooth right away, and then I still have dessert after. It's just one of those things that helps to make me a little more full, hit my fiber goal for the day, and it just helps me avoid overeating dessert, which is something that I really like to do. I got these tomatoes that I really like to use for pasta or sometimes I end up using them sooner because I make like a nacho dish or like a taco bowl and I want tomatoes. So sometimes I'll just chop them up and use them for that. Other times I use olive oil spray or even just regular olive oil, add some seasoning, and I pop them in either the oven or the air fryer to let them roast up. Then once they're done, I just mix them with some cooked pasta and all mixed together with like a little bit of Parmesan, and then maybe if I add like chicken or something, it makes a nice sauce and a nice filling, satisfying meal. And it's really quick and easy. These have a lot of flavor when you roast them. So that's what I got these for. They're 0 points. And then of course, peppers and zucchini for my veggie mix. So the zucchini actually looked really good today. I got 3 of these. Sometimes I'll use them as a side if I make like burgers and I need like a vegetable to add. Or sometimes I'll chop them up and add them to pasta or like a rice bowl if I don't have veggie mix made. But when I have veggie mix made, I use onion, zucchini, and then bell peppers, which these looked really good today. They are giant. That'll be nice. Sometimes I also use them for different meals. I will just cook them up for like tacos or fajitas, or if I'm making a pasta dish and I just need to add a vegetable in, sometimes I'll just add a pepper or something, but we just always have these in the fridge. Okay, moving on to a couple canned vegetables. I got some sliced mushrooms. So I actually like when they have just the mushrooms and not like the mushrooms in pieces. I just prefer to grab those. I don't use these all the time, but sometimes when we want mushrooms on our pizza and we don't have fresh mushrooms, or if I'm making a pasta dish, or one of my favorite side veggie dishes, which is just green beans, mushrooms, onion, and a little Parmesan and some seasonings. It's in my cookbook and it's one of my all-time favorite recipes. Adam and I seriously split the entire thing when I make it, and we could eat more after we finish it. It is just one of our favorites. But sometimes I'll use fresh green beans. Today, actually in the grocery store though, Adam was even saying he prefers the French style, and I really do too. I don't know if it's because I grew up on these, but I really do like canned green beans, especially when they're seasoned and mixed with some other vegetables like onion and mushrooms. So I got some of these, which are 0 points on WeightWatchers, and actually I went to grab the name brand and then I realized these were $1 cheaper and they had the no salt added option, so I just went ahead with the Meyer brand. I also needed just some regular golden sweet corn, so I got 2 cans of this. 0 points on WeightWatchers, a good way to get a little extra fiber, and I just incorporate it with different veggie mixes if I'm doing like bean, corn, tomato for like enchiladas or burritos or something. And even lately I've actually been adding corn to my ramen and really enjoying it. So I'll use this for a couple things. I also use the canned corn like this to make corn salsa, a copycat version of the Chipotle salsa. So that's what I got these for. Then Adam was so excited when he saw this. We keep talking about how we haven't seen the flavored applesauces anymore because he likes to get the Mott's no sugar added. They're 0 points and a quick thing he can just grab to pack with his lunches or for a snack throughout the day. But they had the flavor this time. So they had strawberry, and this is the no sugar added, which makes it 0 points on WeightWatchers. It's 50 calories for the container. It has 11 grams of sugar, but it's no added sugar because it's just from the apple. Then he also got the Granny Smith flavor. So we haven't seen this one in a little either, but it's just a quick and easy 0 point snack for him. I also like to use those for baking. We have the like plain apple ones that we got, I think, from Sam's Club. So we've been using those and they work really well to make even like pancakes or muffins, and it's a good substitute for oil and egg in different recipes. Okay, that's it for produce. So let's move on to some proteins, which I got a lot of again today. We got some savory shredded chicken breast, which I'm going to make chicken salad out of this. I said that last time in my last haul when I got shredded chicken, and then we used it to make barbecue chicken. So this one I'm actually going to use to make chicken salad. I'll add some Greek yogurt, maybe a little mayo, and then pepper and onion, and just mix it up, and it'll be ready in the fridge for him to take for lunches. And it's a really nice option to add to snack plates. So this is 0 points on WeightWatchers, and the serving of 3 ounces is 19 grams of protein and 110 calories. I needed some eggs, so I actually got 2 cartons of eggs, which I'll just use for different breakfasts. I really like to mix them with the potatoes that I showed earlier, but also like some veggies if I have veggie mix made, maybe some chicken sausage, something like that, and just make a nice filling breakfast. They're 0 points on WeightWatchers, and usually when I make like an egg dish with them, like scrambled eggs, I do 3 at a time. But this time I also got some egg whites, so I might even just do like 2 at a time with extra egg whites. Although I was thinking about making egg bites with these. This is 0 points on WeightWatchers as well, and it's just a good way to add some extra protein in when you're making eggs. So for the serving of 3 tablespoons, it's 0 points, 25 calories, and 5 grams of protein. I got some ground turkey. So they just had it like this, which actually anytime I buy it like this, I end up making it into biscuits and gravy. So I might do that. And when I mentioned it, Adam seemed really excited. So this is the 90% lean ground turkey, 0 points on WeightWatchers, 180 calories, 10 grams of fat, and 19 grams of protein for the serving. So I think that's what I'll end up using it for, but it's also just the same as when I buy it in the containers like this. It's just ground turkey. So usually I'll use that for taco meat, burgers, or even just a pasta dish or something. But I did also get some ground chicken, and this one was 95% lean. So I feel like usually when we get it, it's anywhere from like 92 to 98%, although the 98% lean is usually harder to find, but all of them are 0 points on WeightWatchers now. So I got 2 pounds of this. It's 160 calories for 4 ounces, 6 grams of fat, and 25 grams of protein. And like I mentioned, I'll either do chicken burgers, taco meat, or even like meatloaf. A lot of the times I do the same things with them, but then I can make so many different meals out of whatever I cook it into. Even if I make it into like chicken burgers, I don't just have those as burgers. I sometimes cut them up and add them to soup or to sesame noodles or bowls or something. So I'll probably make these into burgers or taco meat, but then there's so many different meals I can incorporate it into. I also got these. I feel like we haven't had them in a while, and they are the Jenny O Sweet Italian Turkey Sausages. So these are 4 points for 1 link, 160 calories, 10 grams of fat, and 18 grams of protein. And honestly, I don't know why they wouldn't be 0 points. There's nothing really added that would add points to it. It's just turkey. So maybe it's the leanness of the turkey. Maybe that's why. But either way, it is 4 points and 18 grams of protein, which is nice. For pasta, sometimes I'll just like cook this up on the stove and cut it into like little discs and mix it in with pasta, or we'll just have it on a bun or something. But they're the sweet Italian version. I think they have a spicy one as well, and it's just something different. I got some options for breakfast sandwiches. So these are the Alfresco country style chicken breakfast sausages. I really like this brand, and I do like to get them as patties like this. I've actually still got some waffles made, so I was thinking doing like a McGriddle with waffles with one of these, and some eggs I'll make would be really good. They're 2 points for a patty, 80 calories, 4.5 grams of fat, 1 carb, and 9 grams of protein. And sometimes they have a maple version, but I didn't see that this time, so I just got the country style. Then I also got some Canadian bacon for the same thing, for like breakfast sandwiches or eggs. It's 2 points on WeightWatchers for the serving of 3 slices. It's got 3 grams of fat, 2 carbs, 2 grams of sugar, and 9 grams of protein in that serving. And sometimes I cut it up and add it to like egg scrambles and stuff, or even pizza bakes if I do like a barbecue Hawaiian pizza, which I have pineapple and I have this. And I bought barbecue sauce. So actually, I might be using the pineapple for some pineapple pizza bakes, which are one of my favorite meals. And I'll probably just use like 2 slices of this, so it'll be 1 point, or 3 slices for 2 points. 9 grams of protein for that. It's just another option to have for breakfasts. Okay, we still have some tuna, but I got some cans of this Pacific pink salmon. So this is 0 points on WeightWatchers. The brand is Safe Catch, and we've tried their products and really liked them. We tried some in a snack review, actually, I wanna say. But they're 90 calories for the serving, and actually there's 1.5 servings in a can. So 90 calories and 18 grams of protein, which is actually really nice that the serving's a little bit more. So that just makes it even more filling. I'll probably use these for pasta if I do like kind of a tuna noodle version, but with the salmon. Or I've also just made it the same, where I mix it with some like Greek yogurt and seasoning and put it on a bagel or toast or something and make like a salmon melt, but like tuna melt style. So these are really good, and they're 0 points. Okay, I did get a couple freezer items that are proteins as well. So sometimes Meijer has the blackened chicken tenders, which is one of my favorite chicken options. They didn't have those today. They just had the diced chicken breast, which is honestly not my favorite. I feel like it's a little bit more on the dry side. You can even see like the picture even makes it look kind of dry, but it is still a nice option. Sometimes I'll just like microwave it and then mix it into a meal. You can also air fry it, but it gets much drier that way. And it does say you should cook it in a skillet with some water, so that makes sense. Either way though, the flavor is good and it's a nice protein option. For the serving of 3 ounces, it's 120 calories, 2.5 grams of fat, 2 carbs, and 22 grams of protein. I've also really been enjoying some of these Real Good products. These are their chicken nuggets. They're lightly breaded chicken nuggets, and they're 3 points for the serving of 4 ounces on Weight Watchers. 130 calories, 2 grams of fat, 4 carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, and 23 grams of protein. These have a nice amount of protein in them, and a lot of the times I like to use things like this when I make like a copycat Chick-fil-A breakfast burrito or a breakfast bowl. It's really good mixed with some eggs and stuff. Or when we do an appetizer night, sometimes I just want some extra protein, so I'll have some chicken bites with it, and usually I'll make this type of chicken with whatever other apps we're having. But 3 points isn't bad for the serving. And then they also have these, which I haven't tried yet. So they are lightly breaded chicken breast fillets. And these are only 2 points for one, which is really nice. So 140 calories for that serving, 4 grams of fat, 5 carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, and 20 grams of protein. And I'm guessing it's just gonna be the same breading as this, but I am excited to use these for chicken sandwiches at home, or even like a chicken Parmesan meal. I feel like would be really good with some pasta and red sauce. So this will be a nice convenient item to have in the freezer. And if we like these, I will definitely be buying them again because 2 points isn't bad. Next up, we've got some dairy items. So I got some Bolthouse dressings. It was like 2 for $7, so I just got both because I've really been craving both of these specifically. This is their Fire Chili Ranch, which just has really good flavor, especially with like the chicken I just shared. Even drizzled on a bowl with like some veggie mix, rice, and chicken, it adds a lot of flavor. It's 50 calories for 2 tablespoons and 2 points on Weight Watchers. 3.5 grams of fat, 3 carbs, 2 grams of sugar, and 1 gram of protein. And then this one's actually the exact same for the nutrition, except this one has 2 grams of protein for 2 tablespoons, but it's also 2 points on Weight Watchers. And this is the creamy Caesar dressing. And I've been craving my chicken Caesar salad at home where I use pretzel bites to make croutons, which I'll share those soon, but I've really been craving that again. So actually that'll be good with the diced blackened chicken too. I feel like that's a good option for salad, and this is the perfect dressing for it. But Bolthouse, it's 2 points, and I got both of them. I needed some yogurt, so the 2 yogurts I get every single time, the Dan & Light & Fit Vanilla Greek Yogurt, which is 3 points for the serving that's on here on Weight Watchers. A lot of the times I'll just do a 2-point serving because the containers are 2 point, and that's usually the amount I do. But for 3/4 cup, it's 90 calories and 3 points, 10 carbs, 8 grams of sugar, and 14 grams of protein. So I use this one specifically for my yogurt bowls with some frozen berries that I heat up, or sometimes I'll use fresh blueberries, raspberries, stuff like that. And then I pick a cereal or a granola to mix in as well. I also got this Chobani plain Greek yogurt. So this is 0 points on Weight Watchers, 90 calories, 6 carbs, 6 grams of sugar, and 16 grams of protein. And this I mostly use for 2-ingredient dough, although we've really been liking the cottage cheese with 2-ingredient dough, so I might start swapping that out. We're gonna have to see, but I still use this for a lot of other things whenever I make like a sauce, chicken salad, tuna salad, all those things. But it's a nice 0 point option that adds a good amount of protein, and I've also even been using it more for baking recipes when I do like my oat bakes and stuff. The Greek yogurt does help to add some more protein. We needed some milk, so this was the Meyer brand lactose-free milk, which we haven't tried yet. It's 3 points for the serving of a cup on Weight Watchers, 90 calories, 13 carbs, 12 grams of sugar, and 8 grams of protein. And we always just need milk for our cereal. I use it to make creamies, and then sometimes I need it for recipes if I'm making like mac and cheese or a pasta dish or something like that. It's always nice to have this. I think we use it most for protein shakes and cereal, and especially Adams, so that's why we always try to find the lactose free. I got a new creamer that I'm excited to try because I've been having a lot more hot coffee as it's gotten colder outside, and I like to add skinny syrup, but I also like when it has just a little creaminess to it. So this is the Starbucks Zero Sugar Caramel Macchiato Creamer. It's a point for a tablespoon, which is probably the amount I'll use when I make my coffee. 20 calories, 1.5 grams of fat, and 1 carb. So I'm excited to see how this is. I've honestly been craving it in the hot coffee, and I hope this is what I've been missing. Another random thing I've been craving lately is string cheese. So they had the Meyer brand, and it is just their light mozzarella string cheese. They are 50 calories for 1 piece and 2 points on Weight Watchers. 2.5 grams of fat, 1 carb, and 6 grams of protein. So it is nice that it's got some extra protein, and it'll just be one of those things that when I want a quick snack, even paired with grapes, that's like my favorite combo, it'll be nice and easy to just grab one of these. I also got some thin sliced cheese. I've been using this a lot more than the shredded cheese. So the two thin sliced cheeses that I got today, I have thin sliced sharp cheddar and thin sliced provolone. For the cheddar, it's 130 calories for 3 slices and 5 points on Weight Watchers. It's 10 grams of fat, 1 carb, and 8 grams of protein. And then for the provolone, for 3 slices, it's 120 calories and it scans as 3 points, which means each slice is 1 point. That'll be really nice, especially when I do like open face sandwiches, I want to use 2 slices. But it's 120 calories for 3, 9 grams of fat, 1 carb, and 8 grams of protein. So I really do like to use these for like burgers, sandwiches, open face things, like I said, like tuna melt, or just like sandwiches. But sometimes I also just rip it up and mix it into pasta, things like that. I feel like it even melts better than the shredded cheese I used to get, which I still get shredded cheese. I just didn't need it and I prefer to get the slices now. I also feel like it's just easier to kind of like portion it out by just grabbing 1 or 2 slices at a time. And I was happy to see they had both the cheddar and provolone in thin sliced. Okay, that's it for dairy. Really quickly, the drinks that I got today, which I'm drinking one of these right now. These are the sparkling iced caffeine drinks, and they had some different flavors there that I like. Usually I can find like the blue raspberry and the black raspberry at Walmart in the 4-packs. So today I got the flavors that I can't find there usually, which is cherry vanilla and tea and lemonade, which kind of tastes like an Arnold Palmer. I really have been enjoying this. I love that these have 70 milligrams of caffeine in a can, and there's 0 points on Weight Watchers, 5 calories, and these are probably my 2 favorite flavors at the moment, although I really do like both of the raspberry flavors, and they have a good citrus flavor too. That's a green can, and I actually forgot that was the first one that I started drinking that got me hooked on them, and then I've just been finding more flavors since. I was happy to see they had those, and I grabbed a couple of them. Then actually Adam's favorite, which don't have caffeine in them, these are the sparkling ice Starburst and the strawberry flavor. So the pink bottles are his favorite. He really likes the strawberry. 0 sugar. They're 0 points on Weight Watchers, 5 calories. And sometimes you're just craving a drink that's got flavor, and so these are really nice for that. Also, they have carbonation, which I feel like satisfies that craving for pop and stuff. Although we did get 1 pop today, which this was the last one that they had, and I'm so upset because I feel like it's gonna be really hard to find. It might already be gone for the season, but we'll see. This is the 0 sugar holiday creamy vanilla Coke Zero. It's 0 points for the can, 0 calories, and it really tastes like a combination of their vanilla Coke Zero with cream soda. It is so good. So I got a case for the snack review we did, and we've already made a good dent in it because it really is just so good, and I've been craving it. And it's not something I have every day, but every once in a while when I'm craving that carbonation and a flavored drink, because I have really been staying on top of my water still too, but it's nice to have things like that mixed in. Moving on to some pantry items that I got. These are some taco seasonings. So I got 2 different ones from Taco Bell. I want to see if there's that much of a difference. This is just the mild taco, and this is their original taco. They are really easy to just add into the cooked meat once I make it. So I've got the 2 pounds of chicken that I'll make, and then I just add 2 packets. I do a packet per pound. It helps to make copycat Taco Bell at home, and I can use it for nachos, enchiladas, burritos, rice bowls, pretty much everything. Then I got some packets that I'll use to marinate some chicken, which I've already got some in the fridge right now marinating. So I used up my last 2 packets, which the ones I used for what I have in the fridge right now, I used a zesty herb. So I got another one of these. And then the other one was the black garlic parmesan, which is really good. It's got really good flavor. So I got another one of those as well. You're supposed to mix 1 packet with 2 pounds of meat, and that's usually just what I do. The other ones that I got are the Brazilian Steakhouse, which I don't think I've tried this one before. It does say you can add lime juice, so I might have to try that. But then also the garlic herb and wine. And then this one is the Griller's Choice. It says it's for beef, but I use it for chicken. And I like to do the garlic Asian version, so you just add soy sauce. You could also do the sweet and savory by adding cola, or the steakhouse by adding Worcestershire sauce. I got all of those to just have in the cabinet for the next time I need to marinate some chicken. Then I haven't had much luck finding this brand lately, but I really like these for soup. These are the Thai Kitchen brown rice noodles. They're 6 points for a pack, and they just come individually wrapped in there. For 1 2-ounce packet of it, it's got 200 calories, 1 gram of fat, 45 carbs, 1 gram of fiber, and 4 grams of protein. And like I said, I mostly use it for soup. I like to use the Thai wheat noodles for sesame noodle meals, and when I actually like mix them with meats and veggies and stuff. These do work well for that, but I really do prefer them in soup. Okay, I was so excited. I know it really doesn't make much of a difference, but they have different shapes of the Barilla Protein Plus pasta at Meijer, and this is my favorite one. Usually when I go to Walmart, they just have the rotini and the penne lately, but today they had these different ones, and then they also had the rotini and penne, but I got some elbows, which are always my favorite for tuna noodles. I don't know why, I just always like to use the elbows for that. Also when I make homemade mac and cheese, but these are my all-time favorite when I add in like vegetables and some type of protein, and actually the back picture looks a lot like what I like to make it into. But for the serving of 2 ounces, it's 4 points on WeightWatchers, 190 calories, 1 gram of fat, 38 carbs, 5 grams of fiber, 2 grams of sugar, and 10 grams of protein. We also needed some popcorn seeds. So this is a 0 point option on WeightWatchers and something that I really like to use as a quick salty snack. It also adds some extra fiber for the serving of 3 tablespoons, which makes about 6.5 cups popped. It's 130 calories, 1.5 grams of fat, 26 carbs, 4 grams of fiber, and 3 grams of protein. And I've got some butter spray that I like to put on it, and then some different either salt, or we have different popcorn toppers, which I just found a churro one in there that I need to try. I might have to do that actually today. That sounds really good. But I just use my air popper and make a big batch of it. I put it in a bowl with a lid, and then we can just keep it to make into snack mixes, which snack mixes just help me to not overeat when it comes to different salty snacks. I use a base of mostly air pop popcorn and then do a couple different chips that I like or crackers, and I just do a 1 point serving of them. So it satisfies my craving for them, but I'm not overdoing it. I needed more barbecue sauce, so this is the Sweet Baby Ray's no sugar added original. For the serving of 2 tablespoons, it's 0 points on WeightWatchers, 15 calories, 4 carbs, 1 gram of sugar, and 1 gram of protein. I really like to use this for anything I need barbecue sauce for, so mixed with shredded or pulled chicken. I really like to use it when I make like a barbecue chicken mac and cheese or on burgers. Sometimes I like to mix just a little bit of this with some ranch, not the spicy ranch, just the regular one, but I'll make like a barbecue ranch out of it because actually Bolt House used to make one and they don't anymore. Okay, I was surprised to see that they had nuts and more there. So this is one of my favorite options for apple nachos, or sometimes I like to mix in some peanut butter to my yogurt bowls. This is their salted caramel flavor, which is one of my favorites. I don't know why I haven't placed an order with them in a while. I used to just consistently order off their website and I kind of just forgot about it and how much I actually enjoy this. So I'm excited to have the salted caramel flavor, and I'll be using that mostly for apple nachos. For the serving of 2 tablespoons, it's 5 points on WeightWatchers, 190 calories, 14 grams of fat, 7 carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, 4 grams of sugar alcohol, and 9 grams of protein. Okay, like I mentioned before, I want to make that Caesar salad where I make my own croutons, and I make the croutons out of pretzel bites. So that's why I grabbed these. They are just the Pretzilla soft pretzel bites. They are 4 points for the serving of 6 of them, which is 160 calories, 3 grams of fat, 27 carbs, 2 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of protein. So I pretty much just cut them up, spray them with some butter spray, and add some like garlic salt to them, and then I pop them in the air fryer until they turn into crunchy croutons, and then topped on my Caesar salad. It is so good. And the ones I had gotten before were the Hawaiian ones, so they were a little bit sweeter, but these will work just as well. And I also just like them plain as a quick snack, but that's my main plan for these. Okay, we needed some more tortilla chips, and I really like to use these as a base for nachos because they hold up really nicely. So these are 4 points for the serving of 10 chips on WeightWatchers, although sometimes I'll just weigh out the serving and do it in grams to see if I can get a couple more. For that serving, it's 140 calories, 4.5 grams of fat, 21 carbs, 2 grams of fiber, and 2 grams of protein. We've recently been buying the smaller pretzels like this from Aldi, and so they had the Snack Factory brand as well, which is 3 points for the serving on WeightWatchers. I really like to use these for snack plates because you can have a decent amount of them and they work well to scoop like tuna on and stuff, or chicken salad, or even hummus. For the serving of about 17 pretzels, it's 110 calories, 1 gram of fat, 23 carbs, and 3 grams of protein. And like I said, that serving is 3 points on WeightWatchers. I got some of this Kashi chocolate cereal, which works works really well on my yogurt bowls. So a lot of the times when I do like a mixed berry or a strawberry base, the chocolate goes really well with it with the vanilla yogurt. So a lot of the time I'll just weigh out a 2-point serving on Weight Watchers. The full serving of 3/4 cup is 6 points. It's 210 calories, 7 grams of fat, 34 carbs, 10 grams of fiber, 10 grams of sugar, and 10 grams of protein. So it does have a good amount of protein and fiber, which is nice. And I really like the chocolate and the peanut butter option they have. Then the last thing, I got some of these salted caramel biscottis. This is my all-time favorite flavor that they offer. They are a little bit higher point, but it's a nice sweet treat that I incorporate in moderation. So for one biscotti, it is 6 points on Weight Watchers, 90 calories, 3.5 grams of fat. It's got 17 carbs, 11 grams of sugar, and 2 grams of protein. And I just love it. It's got these chewy caramel bits in them, and they're just so good. They've got some drizzle, and they do have a good amount of salt on top, so it's like the perfect salted caramel. Like I said, everything in moderation. It's a nice sweet treat that I enjoy, and that wraps up everything that we got today. So I'm really happy with, first of all, just being stocked up on proteins and veggies like always. It just makes me feel a little bit more at ease when I know that I have options in the fridge, because honestly, even the past 2 days, I've just been like trying to figure things out because we haven't had meat or anything to make meals, which is always nice because then I go through more stuff in the freezer. So I have been doing that. But anyway, it feels good to be stocked up and to have some new things that we haven't had in a while. Like I said, I'm so excited about this pasta, even though it's the exact same thing, just a different shape, but it really does make a difference to mix things up and just keep it interesting to stay on track with my weight loss and maintenance. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.